rooftops, laughter in vans. Artists carving hope with bare hands. So many gifts we barely knew. It's time to show the world what we do. We don't need algorithms to feel the spark. We just need heartbeat to light the dark. Trade lights for hugs, comments for cheers. Let's live it loud for the coming years. We're united on the feet, yeah, it's great to see. But real life rhythm is where we're meant to be. Texters, dreamers, storytellers, why? Let's meet in the streets and the vibe side by side. Back off the screen, raise your voice. This kind of love is a human choice, yeah.
Oh, thank you. We're back. 8/5/2025, so they say.
Yeah, right. We're like 8 years off, I think.
That's what they say it is.
1,008 years.
But we come full circle. Glad to be back every time. Right? 12 months a year.
That's right.
Start over. That's great. Glad to have everybody here. Oh, yeah, let me go to comments right here. Let me get another. Thank you for the reminder.
You're welcome.
You got a tip jar, Miss Sheepdog? Thank you. Yeah, 13 months, but yeah, I'll put you up there, Johnny Blaze. Yeah. Well, God's the 13, the soul, right?
That's right.
It's 12 plus 1. So 1 is in the center, 12 disciples. 12 hours plus God in the center.
That's 13.
The Son.
The Son, S-U-O-N and S-U-N.
I mean, 28-day cycles. Times 10 is 280. It's about how long it takes to birth a child, right? 28, 8, 11. So the 2 is you can mark that down as a 1 and a 1, which looks like 11, 11. Or 11 times 8, 88.
Yeah.
Anyways, 13 moons.
And that introduction song was put together by Linda. We love that song. Thank you. She put a couple together, actually, just recent ones. They're both awesome, as usual.
So we got a pretty good show ahead of us. I'll go ahead and speak it into the ether.
That's right.
Make it manifest, which is, but we're grateful for everybody being here. Do we have an update on anything?
No, we tried to contact Matt, but we got voicemail, so hopefully he'll get back with us, or we'll try again.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
update on Mike will be later.
Yeah.
As soon as we hear something, right? So,
Yeah,
but we left a
okay.
voicemail. Let's see here. Where are we at? Where are we at? That's a good question. A lot of shit happening today, man. Let me tell you. I just kind of looked at it for a second, but yeah, some big things. More people are waking up, and that's good. You want more and more. It's like everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face, and usually that punch in the face could be some bitter news or bitter truth, or something that can change your life. But It's how you react to it, whether or not you're successful in coming out of it instead of being a victim. So you just keep punched in the face, you keep it moving. You don't get punched in the face and then lay down. You got to get back up, right?
And punch back.
Miss Sheepdog, they're listening. I told you don't talk about violence on here.
Metaphorically.
There you go.
Right, we got Trump's executive order of drone dominance, right?
Who's ready to be dominated by a drone?
But I believe that's all disclosure because those drones have been around forever. We used to see them all the time.
We ain't scared of no drones. Shit, we've been seeing them for decades.
Yeah.
I mean, they were in the 1988 movie called They Live.
Yep. Yeah, they've been out there. Most people weren't looking up, though. We noticed them a while back.
Drones
Following you in your car.
Are you still talking about them drones? Nobody cares about drones.
Oh my God.
It's true.
What are these drones? Where are they coming from? Are we under attack? Oh my God. Do I need a vaccination? Do I gotta wear a mask? Why don't they tell us what's going on with these drones? Oh my God. I gotta get the bread and milk. They said drones. Oh my God. I gotta get the bread and milk.
Vic DeVito, he's a comedian. So if you're wondering why he's overreacting just a bit, it's, drones. Yeah, don't say the D word. So
it's nothing
new,
to
fear, nothing new.
Some people that didn't know that they've been out and spying on us.
It's disclosure, man, in your face.
They might freak out about it because they hadn't heard that. They didn't know that our government was like that, spying on us with everything. So it's really disclosure.
Yeah, that sucks. People are going to be looking for them now. So, yeah, they wouldn't give it up unless they were trying to inform. But it's all been in the news for years, so it's not like they haven't told everybody.
No. And they have the great big drones that look like airplanes. Right.
Does that mean the drones?
Mm-hmm. They even have drones that look like aircraft. The ones that look like a triangle.
They got drones.
Those are also drones.
They got drones that look like Joe Biden. They got drones that look like Elon Musk and major leaders.
Yeah, those are walking, talking drones. Humanoids.
Better put them out there in case, especially when everybody's in the assassination business these days.
Right.
Attempts.
Yeah, that's disclosure because a lot of these people were augmented and chose to be uploaded a while back. It's nothing new. We just didn't know about it.
Yeah, some people are wanting uploads and others are waiting for downloads. Yeah.
Give me downloads.
Some people's getting uploaded and others are waiting on downloads. So we're 10 minutes in. I'll go ahead and get started here. I don't want to bring up the time. Time doesn't matter. I'm doing the show, so it doesn't matter however long it takes. We'll know when it's time. What else is going on? Well, here, let me get to some of the important stuff real quick. Maybe some things that people need to know, and it's not really, not saying focus on it, but in order to understand where this train's headed. As far as the public's concerned, because we have the power, when people start waking up, start taking back their power, educating themselves, getting the knowledge, start uniting the left, not just the left and the right, but the left and the right, the brain, come together, connected hearts, connected minds, and start coming up with solutions, and or just it's already in us, really. We just forgot.
That's right.
But the foundation's there. The roots are there. The ancestors are there, and our future depends on it. So, I mean, that's just where we're at. It is what it is. But we were made for this, right? This is what we've been waiting to do this our whole lives.
Right. We just put in a coma. Entertained. We didn't realize the truth.
Right. So real quick, this is the word on the street. The Trump administration will halt disaster relief funds to the U.S. states and cities that boycott Israel companies. So that's the big news. So that split the base again. She says this Spitfire says Trump will lose his entire base over this, but Epstein already pretty much did it. But now we're getting down to the nut cutting, as my mom would say. Getting down to the nut cutting. So that pissed off a lot of people. We have Greg Abbott here. Welcome to the United States of Israel. This is showing the people, the public, this is D-class, that we are occupied, and this is the country. When a governor of Texas or a state governor is in front of a foreign nation's flags and our flag sitting over in the left-hand corner,
right,
and something's not right. And you're standing with Israel on a level that you're on the heads of the American people, or Texans, I should say, and the American people as a whole, as being a governor of one of the states. It should be setting a whole different precedence for it. We're not about that here in Texas.
right.
We don't bow down to other countries or other anyone.
They took our money.
But God. But here, this is on full display. Bush plant, Greg Abbott. You got 3 Israeli flags and 1 American flag. Now, I don't have the whole, there might be more flags over here, I don't know, but you get the drift. So we're a captured operation, and that's the part of the bitter truth. And it's okay, because the even bitterer truth for them is we got the power.
That's right.
So
God on our side.
we've already won. All we got to do is stand in our square on foundation, on truth, and in your divine being as a living, breathing man or woman, right? You're not a dead entity. You're waking up, you're a conscious being, and you are aware of your power and your birthright and who you are, which is part of the identity that they stole.
Stolen identity.
I mean, we need to call somebody, we need to hire a lawyer, because we got stolen identity here. That's a crime, ain't it?
Yeah.
So, Joe Biggs, we have many issues right here in America, and the GOP is kissing walls in Israel. So Mike Johnson's over there kissing walls. He said he was going to be in his district, right, helping the people after they passed the BBB bill. I actually love this. It's waking people up like never before. Our government is straight trash, and its employees all work for Israel.
That's right.
And that's the AIPAC comes in. Everyone that's funded by AIPAC wins their election. What are the odds of that? What about when you donate? Where does that money go? So if your money doesn't matter, then why are you giving it to the Democrat Party or the Republican Party when you should be putting it back into your own or holding on?
Right. And
redirecting
millions to campaign.
It takes 20, 30, 40 million gajillion dollars to walk around and give a speech here.
Campaign,
yeah, give a speech for about an hour. Like, that's almost like Clinton money right there. That's Clinton the Clintons used to get $500,000 for speaking
at a college or anywhere.
Yeah, $500,000. Here we go. That's kind of going off point here. This one. Yeah, this one's up here. So everybody's waking up and realizing that not everybody now. There's still some people that are seeing things differently, and that's okay. We're all in the same ship here called citizenship until we wake up.
Yeah, like Renee said. But we are Israel, the truth.
Yeah.
Turtle Island.
When you realize
right.
is Ra, El is left brain, right, third eye, and
It's
right brain.
Isis, Ra, and El, Elohim, right?
Straight and narrow.
That's the
It's
three
okay.
pyramids in the Grand Canyon.
Oh,
Is Ra and El.
don't vote in the midterms.
Right. I mean, come on.
Which is okay. We don't want to vote for a bunch of pedophiles anyway. Know what I mean?
No, that guy.
Yeah, no. If you're not a U.S. citizen, which is a what? Slave, right? U.S. corporation. She didn't say USA. She didn't say state of Texas, a Texan.
Right.
We're states' rights, right? We're taking control of our elections locally.
That's right.
If you are not a U.S. citizen, you should never be allowed to vote. How about this? If you are not a pedophile, you should not be allowed to run. Or if you are a pedophile, you should not be allowed to run. Or if you are a pedophile.
Yeah.
But here we are, blackmailed, whether most of them are, not all, but too many,
Yeah.
I should say. The common sense thing is to not register to vote in the federal election. Focus locally. If you're going to do anything at all,
Because that's where you make a
it's for
difference.
the de jure,
That's right.
not the de facto. And see, when you wake up, you realize that, and then things start changing. But anyways, whether you want to participate or not, it's up to you. That's what's great about, America. Okay, which one? The one we're going to go into? Oh, right here. Yeah, see, that's the first.
Who in America? We have to liberate America. This is a big issue for the American people, by the way. And listen carefully. As you know, over decades, U.S. congressmen have been entrapped one after the other by Israel to engage in sexual depravity with children, as Israel was secretly recording them on camera. And those videos are being used by Israel to blackmail these politicians to do anything Israel demands, or else the videos will be leaked to the public. I believe the same blackmail operation has caught many leaders in the UK and the EU as well. And that's why they all act odd and look soulless when they have to defend Israel's crimes, because they are under duress and can't reveal their plight to anyone. By orchestrating this blackmail operation, Israel conducted what is essentially a coup d'etat against the democracy that US politicians represent. Israeli operatives have thus usurped the American people's sovereignty over their own country by blackmailing these representatives to serve not the interests of the American people, but the interests of a genocidal foreign country first. The politicians are then given their marching orders and talking points by Israeli agents under the Israeli organization called AIPAC. Every congressman or woman has a person they call an AIPAC babysitter who tells that politician whatever Israel wants them to do on any given subject. You could just as well call the babysitter a personal prison guard or a minder, just like in North Korea. One of the most important actions these politicians must take is to always approve US foreign aid to Israel every year without fail. But after the money reaches Israel, part of it is then sent back to America from Israel to be used by AIPAC to buy more US politicians and also fund the election campaigns of the other politicians who are already under Israeli blackmail, so that they continue serving Israel in Congress to vote for more foreign aid to Israel which the politicians will again receive more kickbacks from. Basically, these politicians are being coerced to engage in a cycle of corruption and money laundering, where they accrue funds to Israel while receiving kickbacks from Israel from the same funds that they approve for Israel. These are federal crimes under US law. Now, besides approving money for Israel, they must also defend any action that Israel takes in the Middle East, be it genocide, air attacks on neighboring countries, or forced starvation on Palestinian children. This has been revealed by UK politician Jeremy Corbyn, who refused outright to be part of this scheme. The overthrow of democracy through blackmail should have never been allowed to happen anyway. And all US congressmen who are compromised by this Israeli blackmail coup should actually report themselves to authorities, or else the people and the victims of their sexual depravity should make these politicians face the real risk of being deemed as willing treason collaborators against the people, right? Against the American people's sovereignty, against democracy, and against America itself, for not reporting blackmail, which is also a serious federal crime under US law. Right now, Israel is doing everything so that Epstein files do not come out. They are most probably the ones using a blackmailed Donald Trump to try and bury the files and videos so that they keep the power of blackmail that they have over America's politicians. Power that they have stolen from the American people who elected these politicians. The American people should not let this brazen coup d'etat against their country continue. This foreign regime in power in America, behind the curtains, is the one engineering the loss of freedoms of the American people, particularly when it comes to criticism of Israel. People are being cancelled, losing their businesses, and others their jobs, their families, and marriages breaking, their homes breaking, for simply exercising their First Amendment right to speak their conscience. This regime is leading the US down a slope that culminates in not only the end of America as a free country for all its citizens. If nothing is done, it ends with deranged, genocidal Israeli lunatics ruling the world. For me, I'm just like a simple messenger on video mail here. My role is to hereby alert the world, anyone who cares to listen, and warn you about this grave danger. Save this video before it gets removed, and share it with the American and European people who might not be aware of the full scale and magnitude of this coup against their democracy. Thank you.
And people in other countries are paying attention, ain't they?
Oh yeah, they know the truth. We had to wake up to it. They've known this stuff for a while.
Mr. Lumba?
Yeah, like I was telling that Confessions of, what was it called, that book? Confessions of Economic Hitman. That's when he woke up, and this was like in the 70s, when he went to other countries and they were telling him about America, and he was saying, that they're over there to, the military goes over there to help them fight communism, and they laugh. They're like, no, America's the one that has communism. Yeah, and that's when
so they're always
up. Yeah.
That's why they constantly
Yeah, go ahead.
That's why they constantly tell us to be on the lookout for it, because it's so we never think it's them. Right. They're telling us to be on the lookout for something they are. That's a part of the magic spell they put on you.
We've been under.
Look over here. Look over there, not over here.
The jails were concentration camps, right? Those were the concentration camps disguised as jails, and we're the only country that has the most jailed people in the entire world. Yeah, that's crazy.
Probably 80% no victim.
They said 90%. 90% has no victim.
No victim, no crime.
Right.
Means they just hurt themselves. Mm-hmm. Maybe an addict or something like that, drugs, something like that. Right, alcohol. Just maybe, just stuff like that. Anything other than murder, rape, and theft. Property of someone else's property, right? So All right, here we go. So that's why Joe Biggs said what he said about the issues kissing the wall. So in case you wonder why I brought that, because you got, that's where we're at. That's the writing on the wall. But everybody's perception is different. So here we go.
So this is a humble message, particularly to the leaders and politicians of Europe, the UK, and America. And the message is that the whole world is liberating itself from the claws of Israeli control.
So that's the liberation we're going through. You hear that? They're freeing themselves from Israeli control.
Yes.
That's the liberation. That's what's taking place.
The world leaders.
Right. They're rejecting it.
Right. That's why you see most of them gone, right? They took the mark, basically, right? And they had to stand up. But go ahead, he'll tell you about that.
So this is a humble message, particularly to the leaders and politicians of Europe, the UK, and America. And the message is that the whole world is liberating itself from the claws of Israeli control because of the mounting untenable tally of indefensible Israeli actions and the obvious genocidal intent behind those actions. Furthermore, it is clear that those who are being called Israel's allies are now being assumed to actually have the same intent, the same genocidal intent as Israel against the Palestinian people. And that it must be a common plan where they don't want to recognize a Palestinian state as it puts a stop to their motivation of wiping out the Palestinian people from Palestine and taking their country. This indefensible plot and the cruelty of the indefensible starvation policy behind it is the reason why everyone, including Trump and all the other leaders of Europe and America, should break the malicious shackles of blackmail that deranged Israeli puppet masters have secretly placed upon you. The Senator Bernie Sanders, he's an example of someone who has broke free from Israeli blackmail from a year ago with courage, and he now continues to serve his country with dignity and with his own conscience. What his case shows is that blackmail can be overcome by determination, resolve, and being on the right side of history. Leaders, one by one, can walk out of captivity to live in dignity and self-respect, free from Israeli blackmail, and to continue to serve their people with true conviction, not AIPAC talking points. And there is nothing Israel can do. Why? Well, the Israelis themselves know that what a weak political position they're actually in, because once they have published the blackmail compromise against a leader, they then have nothing else to hold the person enslaved to Israel with. Yet their biggest geopolitical need is the control of Western leaders. Just look at the big crisis in the US about the disturbing Epstein files. It's the Israelis who now do not want the release of the Epstein blackmail files, because if released, Israel will not have any control against American leaders anymore. That is the weak position that they are in right now regarding America. And this is what I want all those politicians to understand. Control is what the blackmailers want the most, not loss of control by the revelation of any dirt against you. The time to walk away from blackmail and fear is now or never. The people should even start a campaign of liberation for all their politicians entrapped by Israel. That liberation is more important than the crucifixion of those leaders for whatever personal sin they are being blackmailed with. I can never condone the sexual depravity that Western politicians did to children. What kind of monsters are you to have sex with toddlers and other people's children? Meanwhile, I also do not forget that these politicians were entrapped by Israel to do it. And nobody should forget that. It was a very dark and sophisticated operation orchestrated by truly deranged Israeli government operatives against your country and against its democracy using sexual depravity. recording your leaders on video, engaging in that depravity, and then blackmailing them to do whatever Israel wants, or else they will release the video. While it is important for the public to know the content of the video evidence, even just to see a list of who is doing what in each of those videos, always keep the bigger picture in mind, because it is that silent coup against your democracy, the usurping of the sovereignty of the American people through blackmail. That is what you should fight against first. And you and the politicians should use all this knowledge and leverage that we are discussing here today to find a way to break free for good from this evil Israeli dictatorship against America and the West. I am actually just realizing that your leaders quietly need help from you, the people, but have no way to even express their cry for help from the dark place that they must be in psychologically. Thank you.
Basically, that's why you haven't got the Epstein list, right? They're all blackmailed. And so, yeah, they can't even express. They can't even talk about it, or you know, their families are probably threatened, their lives threatened, and that's why it was up to us to call this stuff out. Of course, Trump said, "Don't just quit talking about Epstein. Think mirror." That's what think mirror means. What Trump says, think the opposite.
You're smoochy.
You're not supposed to go along with what he says. You're supposed to call out this stuff, because they fear the people waking up and knowing all this stuff, that our politicians have been blackmailed, and they probably did do some horrible things, made to probably put in a situation, probably maybe drugged, who knows how they got them in it, but they recorded it, and that they threatened them that they'll release it. Can you imagine that? So it's important that we keep on it and keep talking about it and not shut up about it, because they probably want to be freed too. We want to be free.
Free Willy. What? So it's odd to see American politicians fly halfway across the planet to pledge loyalty to a foreign nation, says Martha. How about they pledge loyalty to their constituents and the Constitution instead?
Like he said, they're not able to. They're not able to.
So this is their way of telling you they're compromised by going and
Yes.
kissing and making out
Yes,
with the
they're
wall
showing you what they have,
and leaving behind a little note stuck in the crack of the
or
wall.
they will be killed, or their family member will be killed, or they'll release the tape to the whole world.
I mean, how do you go from voting on the big bullshit bill, big billionaire bill, the 666 bill, to rushing to get that done, but when it came time for everything else to come out, they halt and they take off,
Right.
and they go and kiss a wall? Ain't that's just really strange?
They're showing you. They have to go.
I mean, especially when people are waking up to what's kind of taking place here.
And this has been going on for a long time, so it's not just this administration
or this generation.
But they're showing you.
Well, since May 1st, 1776.
There was a coup d'etat a long time ago on us,
Yeah, May 1st, 1776.
when someone made a deal with them.
They made a deal with the devil.
Right.
So any politician who goes to Israel should be denied re-entry into America. I think even Steve Bannon's. So the masks have come off, basically. Oh, here's I guess it was a trending.
Yeah.
Go to Israel and kiss the wall, take a picture, and put it on media.
How could be?
So they're either out of touch, or they don't know what's going on, or they're a part of something, and this is how they show people in a roundabout way,
they have to, like anyone that takes money from them has to go put pledge allegiance to them.
Wait, is that the Great Wall of China? That's the Great Wall of China, right? Oh, it's not. So if they were going to go kiss the Great Wall of China, wouldn't that be kind of crazy? Who are they praying to? Because it's not God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Here they are, kind of a. This lady always has to be there, right?
Yeah, what did he say? They all have what? Handlers, right?
Yeah.
That's what that gentleman was just talking about. They all have like a handler.
We had one politician wake up the other day in Israel and he was talking about an attack by some Islam or something.
Right.
I'm like, what are
Yeah,
you doing
like you
waking
said,
up in Israel?
they're
Like, I thought
handlers.
you were a congressman in America.
Like you said, their handlers give them the talking points, right? Like that guy that always stands behind Trump, right? And looking over there.
Are they?
Yeah, he's showing me.
Are they over there hiding under the Iron Dome and then coming here and making policy and putting us at war?
They don't have enough.
Is that what's going on?
They're showing
So they got us at war. Then they go to Israel and hide under the Iron Dome, and their family's fine, but everyone else is screwed.
right, but they showed you October 7th. They don't have the Iron Dome. It must have been dismantled or taken down.
Oh, the paraglider that went in there, 30 miles an hour. So here he is, Randy Fine, Congressman Randy Fine. It's 1 a.m. and I just got woken up due to this Muslim terror attack. Imagine having to live this way as a fact of life. Why is he
because
a
they have to
congressman?
deflect onto somebody else. It's
Yeah.
always been the
It's
Muslims.
always the Muslims.
The Muslims. So
The
you
most-
look here, not there.
Right.
Right.
Projection.
Projection.
It's the magic trick.
Yes.
It's called somebody else what you are, right?
Exactly. So they got everyone scared of Muslims when that's not who they should be scared of. Everyone's been scared of Sharia law when it is
It all came from
the
the Mossad.
Noahide laws that every president has signed. Go read the Noahide laws. That's what you should have been worried about the whole time. Most people didn't know that about the Noahide laws until just a couple of years ago. But yeah, that's they want you to focus on something else.
Yeah. Look there, not here. It's always the person that's pointing the finger at somebody else. Right? It's the Democrats. No, it's the Republicans. It's
Right.
both of you some bitches.
And he just told you who it was. It's not the Democrats.
It's not even that.
It's a foreign country.
Israeli intelligence is where we get our shit from. All of this shit that gets us into wars comes from them.
Like I said, we had to be invaded from within.
Mhm.
And that's what happened.
They called it ISIS, but it was really ISIS is really Israel created and a mockery of real ISIS and the real true meaning of ISIS and what it put a stain on it
Right.
so that when people heard it, they think terrorist.
Right, exactly.
Same thing with the Star of David. They took it and made it something else. All blue. UN colors.
Right.
Blue and white. Something like that. But anyways. So that is, yeah, we're going to go into that. Where are we at?
Hey, have you ever noticed that when you go into the bank, to the teller, all right, they give you a sucker called a dum-dum. Why do all banks give suckers a dum-dum? I'm just saying, that's what they do. I'm not saying that a sucker a dum-dum. I guess I've been a sucker and a dum-dum too. But they put it right in our faces.
It's in
Hey,
your
when they
face.
come out with the mark, don't take it.
Don't take it.
Then you'll be a sucker and a dum-dum.
Get it? That's nothing
Yeah,
to really
that's
laugh
true.
about.
And I was like, wow, that's true. Every time you go to the teller, and it's called a teller. Yeah. And they do have a jar of dum-dums. Yeah.
It's in your face.
I know, funny.
165. It's a 165 moment.
Right.
But
That's-
the most important message: don't take the mark. Don't blood work to AI. You know,
Right.
each their own. This is a free country. You have the right to do whatever you want with your body.
That's right.
Okay, first and foremost. So it's not just saying from one spiritual being to another. If you want to have control of your mind and your autonomy, and you're still got your soul, you might want to hold on to it because you might get healed, but it ain't gonna come from the Creator. It might come from some
AI.
And I'm not saying that technology can't be used to do things, but what I'm saying is just be mindful of and educated on it before you make a decision to do anything. How about that? We'll leave it at that.
Dum dum. I'm just saying, that's what they do. I'm not saying they're a sucker or dum dum. I guess I've been a sucker and a dum dum too. But they put it right in our faces. Hey, when they come out with the mark, don't take it. Then you'll be a sucker. And
I thought you said they were here.
I think we need to start writing things down, like on paper, because otherwise I don't think there'll be a history of us.
Yeah, so basically this video is about taking a journal and passing it down to your relatives,
Write
right?
it down. Yeah.
Yeah. Certain things that they may need to know in a book, pass it down to your as an part of the inheritance or something that needs to be passed down through generation after generation if you would like. And then add it to each person at a book, their own book, family book, and then have, before you know, you have a whole library of everybody's chronicles
Yes.
type thing, because you're going to have, well, you already have AI altering the headlines
Right.
and history. And that's why it's such a struggle to get people to wake up, because it's a divine thing. It's not something that any of us can do, but be our own light and hope that that's enough to get them home. Lost at sea. Here we go.
Of any kind of resistance, a history of any kind of sanity. All the digital platforms we're using to document how we feel, they'll all be controlled by AI. AI that's controlled by the oligarch class. Remember in the book or in the movie 1984, and how Winston worked at the Ministry of Truth, and his job was to change the news. His job was to change the headlines, the past headlines, so that the government was always right. And it was a manual job. You know, in the movie, it shows the newspaper stories coming in on tubes, and he'd take them out and edit them and put them back in and change it so that whatever happened was what the government meant to happen. The scary thing is that AI can do that basically in real time. It can not only change the text we write, but it's getting to the point that it can even change this video. All of our data is stored in data centers owned by either Microsoft or Amazon or Google or Oracle. Like literally almost all of it. All our social media, all our videos, all our blogs, all our websites, all our email. So the only way that I can see that a historical record will survive is if we print it out, or write it down on paper. I'm thinking we need to start like a design culture. I know there are some out there where we're sharing our thoughts, our ideas, our visions of the future, our art, our resistance to what's going on, and we're doing it in print, or in stone, or on film, or on vinyl, or maybe just getting together and telling each other stories and singing each other songs.
Like the natives
But
used to do.
something that's real, something that exists in our material world that can't be manipulated by a computer, so that it'll survive, so that not only us in the future, but future generations will be able to see it and read it and know that there are a lot of us trying to forge a different path.
Amen. That's what it's all about. Different path, forging a
Right.
different.
For sharing
Like the
in
natives.
print or in stone or on.
That's what the natives did.
Yeah, and they
Our
told their
ancestors.
stories verbally.
Our
Because they
ancestors.
knew once you wrote it, it could be changed or
Yeah.
altered.
So it was passed down verbally, oral tradition.
and sometimes in metaphors, so that they're the only ones that could understand.
Symbolism as well.
Right.
Go look at the pyramids. Read that. Tell me you don't believe in symbolism. They were able to communicate so much just based on that alone.
Oh yeah.
On film or on vinyl, or maybe just getting together and telling each other stories and singing each other songs.
Right there. That's what we were talking about with it.
Yeah.
Telling each other stories and singing each other songs. That's what they did.
Yes.
It carries a frequency and a vibration into the ether. Singing. Sometimes it would bring rain to the crops.
Yes.
Right? Is this the PBB bill?
Y'all, could the golden bell room, all right, Matt pointed this out, 6 pillars, 6 windows. I'm sure there's 6 something somewhere else. But do you think that the golden bell room could be the
Golden
temple? Okay.
Third temple.
Also, it's in the east wing, Satan mocking God. You know, Jesus is supposed to enter the east gate. I'm just saying, you know, golden bell room. It's the guy that's designed it. The founder and principal of McCree Architects is James C. McCree II. He is also an associate professor of architecture at the Catholic University of America. The firm McCree Architects PLLC is based in Washington, D.C. and specializes in classical architecture and urbanism. Canaanite god Baal, all right, is also referred to as Lord, little L, all right? And Jesus is the Lord of Lords, all right? And in the Bible, Baal represents a Canaanite storm and fertility god, and all the storms we've been having, who is widely worshipped in the ancient Near East, including by some Israelites, and is depicted as a rival to the Israelite god Yahweh. The name Baal itself means Lord or owner in Semitic languages. While Baal could refer to various local deities, the most prominent Baal was associated with storms, fertility, and agriculture, and was often depicted as a powerful warrior. Check this out. The 666 bill, the big beautiful bill, allocates for detention centers and the mark and all the AI stuff for 2029. And this is September or 2025, and it's supposed to begin construction September 2025. Reports indicate that the construction on the White House State Bell Room, also referred to as the Golden Bell Room, is expected to begin September 2025 and be completed before the end of President Trump's term, okay, in January 2029. All right. That puts it right around 3.5 years from September 2025. And that's the end of his term, or is it? It's the end of his term as far as God's concerned. I told y'all that's not Israel over there. The devil has you looking over. That's the oldest trick in the book. Look over here while he does this over here.
Chat's not working.
Oh, let me check it out. So is that the third temple?
Yes, like they said, the third temple, like the Illuminati, right?
Y'all could
Albert Pike had planned that the New Jerusalem would be in Washington, D.C. So there you go.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, the city on the hill. Yeah.
Man. 8:36. Here, let me turn it off and then turn it back on and see what happens. Let's see if that fixes it. Let me know up there. Let me know right here. All right, we're gonna go into. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna go down to. Let me get to it. Where's that? Let me. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. The best kept secret in the entire world. Coming right up. Are we good now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go over a little astrology real quick. 2 minutes. Well, not real quick. Well, first let's look at Know Thyself, right? And the Matrix. We're talking about Neo. We just read Morpheus yesterday out of the book. So with that being said, we're going to go into another little sample here.
You know,
There's Big Mama, right? She's got the cookies.
you know why Morpheus brought you to see me. So, what do you think? Do you think you are the one?
Honestly, I don't know.
You know what that means? It's Latin. It means know thyself. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Being the one is just like being in love. No one can tell you you're in love, but just know it. Through and through. Balls to balls.
I'm not the one.
Sorry, kid. You got the gift, but it looks like you're waiting for something.
See, she said right there, it looks like you're waiting on something.
What?
Your next life, maybe.
It looks like you're waiting on something. What? The next life, maybe you're going to wake up?
Right.
She's like, this looks because everybody says they're waiting on somebody.
Right.
The Lord.
You. It's always been
Waiting on Jesus. He's in your heart. Spirit, Christ, consciousness, the Christos, the oil,
Don't worry about it.
the light.
As soon as you step outside that door, you'll start feeling better.
Sorry, let me go back.
What?
Your next life, maybe. Who knows? Don't worry about it. As soon as you step outside that door, you'll start feeling better. You'll remember you don't believe living is fate crap. You're in control of your own life. Remember? Yeah. Take a cookie. I promise by the time you're done eating it, you'll feel right as rain.
What was said was for you and for you alone.
She asked him if he knew who he was. In a roundabout way.
So if we look at the Lord's Prayer, we will see the 12 signs unfolding, starting with Aries. Our Father who art in heaven, Aries, the cerebrum, the sun. Hallowed be thy name, Aries, because Aries is I am, and that's the name of God. Hallowed be that name. Thy kingdom come, Taurus. Taurus is about the kingdom, the bull market. Groundedness. Thy will be done, Gemini, which is the messenger or the doer of the will of God. So he does the will, thy will be done. On earth, Cancer. Cancer is the sister of the earth, and the ovaries of the world. So she represents the earth. As in heaven, that's the sun. The sun rules the heavens. Give us our daily bread, Virgo. She is the one who holds the corn sheaf in her hands. She's serving humanity with bread. And it's the harvest month. It's when you make bread, you harvest the wheat. And the ovens are baking in Virgo. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive them that trespass against us. Well, that's Libra. Please forgive me, God, as I forgive the ones who have sinned against me. Lead us not into temptation, Scorpio, the generative system, sexuality, generation. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Sagittarius, the deliverer. He shoots your enemies. For thine is the kingdom, Capricorn, the house and the sign of the state, kingdom. The power, Aquarius, very electrical, very powerful people. And the glory, Pisces, the last sign, completion. Everything is glorified. Forever and ever. And that's the 13th sign, the circle. Forever and ever. So that's astrology. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive them that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. It's all astrological. Every speech, every movie, every cosmology, every nursery rhyme, every fairy tale starts in Aries and ends in Capricorn. And that's provable because I, for one, have done it many, many, many times.
Meaning that's how old he is, because we start
Right. He's
the new
been
year
here many times, and he's
Yes.
like impeccable teaching. So he remembered, obviously, from past lives
right.
that he carried over with him.
Yeah. And we, the new year starts in Aries
Right.
and it goes down through all the way to
And Aries is what? The Ram.
March,
Memory.
which is Ram. Mar is Ram in reverse.
Right.
Think mirror, right? So that's the real new year, which starts at the head.
Right.
So your spinal cord is really the equator, the equinox. And the sun travels from your head and it goes like a serpent across all from the head down to the toes. It makes that path just as what you would do a layout when you were talking about the seasons and how that same thing.
Right.
But there's some black villain type people that have the knowledge, however they use it for their own advantage materialistically, like Satan would when he tempted Jesus for, I could give you even the devil could bless you
Like what did that guy say?
with material things.
The dark know the light better than you do.
Yeah.
They just choose the dark over the light. They willfully choose that.
Right. Left the
But they
B.
have the knowledge. They have the knowledge, but they choose to serve themselves.
Right. And that's a part of a Masonic. That's the B pillar, right?
Right.
And we were talking about that earlier
when you
today.
say you believe in God,
Because somebody
or
said,
you accept
well,
God in your life, that's
hold on.
because you are.
Somebody said, well, who was it? They said, well, if we had the money, we would be helping each other. I said, yes, that's what separates us from them. But however, we don't need money or any kind of anything like that to make things happen. All we need is the willpower, the want to, the passion to do what it is you're called to do when it's time.
But they have had a strain on us to be able to do that, right? You can only do just like them giving tickets and arresting people for feeding the homeless. See, they have restraints on us for trying to help each other as well. So, yeah, it's kind of they had us in a bad spot where even if we had the money, or even if we didn't have the money and we wanted to do a kind gesture like that and help people, they won't let you. Just like them trying to build tiny home things for the homeless, and that got squashed too, right?
Yeah,
so they limit us.
North Carolina.
Yep.
The restrictions on the land and all that.
Right, like that homeless
all of a
that
sudden,
was in California.
That's more important than lives.
And they had it functioning right, and the city kept going after him, and they finally lost the battle.
Yeah.
But they went strong for three years. They had self-governance within that, like little tiny home. They were really tiny homes, but it was for homeless people trying to get back on their feet. And they like self-governed. Remember that one? We watched the whole video on it. But yeah, see, it's the government that steps in and stops us.
Because the people are divided and they don't have the knowledge and they don't know the power.
Right.
They're supposed to be serving us, not us serving them. Right. They got it all backwards. It's upside down world.
When you say you believe in God or you accept God in your life, that's because you are intelligent and you realize that there is only God. There is nothing but God. All things are God. God is energy, frequency, and vibration. Thank you, Tesla. And in that order, energy. The universe is abundant with infinite energy. Energy is number one. Conscious energy. Nothing is not conscious. Every atom is conscious. Every atom on your nose, every hair here that you see, every atom in my eye, they're all conscious because they are all self-similar fractally from the microcosm through the mesocosm to the macrocosm. Everything is exactly the same. It's all fractals. You go all the way up to the big solar system, you go all the way back down to an atom, and you'll find that it's all electromagnetic. Magnetism is the mother of electricity. Magnetism is 10 billion times more powerful than electricity. Magnetism is the longitudinal wave. It doesn't vibrate. That's why vibration is at the end. You've got energy, frequency, vibration. Vibration is a wave. The waveform is what makes time and space, because the pulse, there's no time and space in the pulse. This is why quantum physicists spew out so much rubbish when they talk about wave particle universe. Oh, it's a wave particle universe. Well, Walter Russell said, and all the great geniuses said, there are no particles. When you see light hitting your eye, it's not a particle. Otherwise, at the end of the day, you'd have to wipe all the particles out and flush them down the sink. There's no particles. They're frequencies. They're pulses. It's a pulse wave universe. It's not a particle wave universe because there are no particles. They're doing black magic.
So if it's a pulse wave universe, then there are no unconditioned facts of matter in a universe of motion. There are but appearances of facts, right? Because everything is constantly moving and vibrating and it changes. Everything's vibrating. Everything. There are no unconditioned facts of matter in a universe of motion. There are but appearances of facts. Walter Russell.
We've had devices from Atlantis, from the days of Atlantis and technology. That's how they wiped out Tartaria. They wiped out the magnetic free grid, and then they set up the electrical grid. And now we've got dams and power stations and nuclear stations giving us electricity, which we pay for, which we don't have to because energy is free. I mean,
and what do you want to do when you curse something? You damn it, right?
Yes. Yep.
And we're talking about currency, right? You're trying to block it off. You're trying to damn it because what? You're mad.
Yes.
And the mirror of damn is mad. Sociopath.
Everything's energy. I can, with a device in my hand, I can draw magnetism from the ether because that's what there is. It's magnetism. They know that the secret to free energy is magnetism, but they don't want to talk about magnetism. They just seem to avoid magnetism. And they love electricity. El, the god El, the false god. Because, see, electricity is a hybrid. It's a wave. And waves are finite. They have a use-by date, or they have a decay factor in them. You see, the transverse wave is electricity. The longitudinal wave is magnetism. Remember, magnetism is 10 billion times more powerful than electricity. Thank
and
you.
this is where
Steinmetz,
electroculture comes in, right?
Maxwell.
With the magnetism facing north and south, or it doesn't work because you understand that part, magnetism versus electricity.
Yes.
Oh, Faraday.
And just
Walter
like
Russell,
water, if it's synthetically
all of my
held like they do in the pipes in the water, the city water, and not natural, then same thing.
It's not living.
It's not living. It's just totally
They
different.
have it stored.
Right. That energy's not
dead water.
Yeah, it's water, but you can't change water. Water's the truth, but it's polluted or altered with a synthetic god, EL.
Presentations are based on magnetism and astrology. It's the science of understanding magnetism. They have at CERN, they have technology that what they're doing is they're creating vortices, portholes, wormholes to hyperspace or counter space. Ken Wheeler likes to use the word counter space, so do I. Quantum physicists call it hyperspace. Philosophers call it the metaphysical. Some people call it the supernatural. We have the natural world, what we can see, and then we have the supernatural, which is invisible. All of those words mean the same thing. The magnetic world is spiritual, invisible. The electrical world is physical, visible, tangible, and it is temporal, which means it's not eternal. You will die, I will die, this house will crumble, the earth eventually will dissolve. All of the forms that you've ever seen, all the beautiful girls, all the beautiful trees, beautiful mountains, good-looking men, good-looking animals, all of them will transition through the electrical wave, time-space, reality, simulation, and then go back to the magnetic, counterspatial, true world, which is virtually exactly the same as this world, but the activity there is transcendental. It's not physical. So you don't have any conditions. Here we are conditioned. We have to go to the bathroom. We have to eat. We have to go to work. We have to sleep. There's so many things we are conditioned and limited by that we have to do. What they're doing at CERN is what the Freemasons do with their technology. They make egregores. They open wormholes to bring transdimensional evil beings that resonate at their frequency, so that is now their God, and they follow the orders of that God. You see, we think George Soros and Klaus Schwab and the Clintons and Kissinger and all of these guys are running the world at Davos and the CFR and the Bilderbergers and the Jesuits. But they have their boss, and they actually invited that boss. Well, it's a bit of both. That boss, that demon entity, was attracted to this earth because humans have souls. We're like a battery. We're like an energy source for these parasitic demon entities that actually work through the elite family bloodlines. So they've got bosses as well. I mean, they're in the same trap. They're like wardens of a jail. They're still in the jail. You know, if you've got the top position in the jail, it doesn't matter because you're still in jail, you know. So everyone's in jail by this egregore. But see, when Christ returns, which means when you and I awake and enough people awaken and we hit critical mass, then that egregore must, by law, universal law, depart. And now is the final stages of those egregore demons ruining, because they want to either rule or ruin. There's only one philosophy, rule or ruin. And they've been doing that for since 1776, since the Illuminati were founded.
May 1st.
And the Constitution with the
51.
Bill of Rights and Articles of Confederation were constituted by the United States of America. And the reason was because 3 years prior, in 1773, Pope Clement XIII, he outlawed the Jesuits. So America, in 3 years, without the Jesuits, they managed to get a Constitution, Bill of Rights, Articles of Confederation. They got a republic set up, and then guess what? at the very same time that they launched this new republic, the Illuminati were founded in 1776. And since then, they've been using CERN-type technology to cause mud floods, melting of buildings. You can see all the bricks melted. You can see mountains were once buildings. You can see that they made deserts. The Sahara Desert 200 years ago was a tropical lush forest. There were no deserts a couple hundred years ago. All those cities, Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, they were there for thousands of years. Again, they use ancient technology, which they've always had, these elite families, and they used that technology to absolutely obliterate Tartaria. Now, listen to that word, Arya. You see, the Aryans, we are all Aryans. We are the fifth root race. Before the Aryans were seeded on this earth were the Atlanteans. Before the Atlanteans, the fourth root race, was the third, the Lemurians. Before them were Hyperboreans, the second root race. And before them were the Polarians. Now, the Aryans, we are Aryans, Tartarians. We were destroyed by the Khazarians. The Khazarians destroyed the Tartarians. They did it with technology. The world was full of buildings and parks. Every inch of the world was buildings, massive, glorious temples and buildings, and they left little bits and pieces. They left Rome, they left Chicago, they left San Francisco. They left those cities because they thought that was enough that they could manage. They melted all the rest and created deserts and herded all the people into the cities. And that's where you had all these orphan trains. And that's why they shipped people from Ireland to Australia, convicts. And then they had migration to the Americas. You know, all the Slavic people went over there. Italians went, Greeks went to there. Mexicans went over there too. And then, you know, when they invaded Mexico, Montezuma was the king of one of the greatest empires that existed. All of these great cities, Mexico, Tepoztlan, Cancun, Acapulco, San Cristobal de las Casas, San Miguel de Allende, Querétaro. I've been to all these cities. They're all Tartarian. The Europeans didn't come here to build. They came here to change the flag. They corrupted Montezuma and they made a corporate takeover. Just like Klaus Schwab and the UN are trying to do again in this new reset. They don't have to go and invade. There was no invasion of America by Europeans. There was some migration, but all that happened was simple. They went there with their ships and they said, sign this treaty, and let's do commerce and let's have peace between us. But you see, those treaties were all in legalese. And when you use the word peace, that means the opposite, means war. And when it says let's do commerce, that means let us rape your lands, put mines in there and take all the minerals out of the land, you know, and oil so we can fund this petrodollar and everything like that. It was a corporate takeover. That's all it was. They didn't build any of those buildings. None of those old buildings in San Francisco were built by any Europeans. They were there for thousands of years. It's easy to prove. That area of Russia, China, that Asian area there was like the last maps that we have, Tartaria, are sort of centered around there. But the whole world was just known as the Aryan civilization. Tartarian, it still comes from the Aryan people. And the Aryan people are superior to the Atlanteans. We are superior to the Hyperboreans and the Lemurians and the Polarians. We are the last ones. We are the ones that are now completing the cycle and going back to our godship. We're going back to be gods, which we are. But it's very important when you say that you are God, which you are, it's very important to say that you are God with difference. Because you can't be God completely. You can be God qualitatively. We are exactly the same as God in quality, but not in quantity, because we are droplets, godlets. We are sons of God. In other words, God has to expand. Let's go with the Hindu system. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. In other words, he's at the top with his partner, Radharani, the Queen of Heaven. Krishna and Radharani, magnetism and dielectricity.
Right.
They make an electrical world, which means they expand. They have to expand their dimension and drop down to be able to make Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva, and all the other expansions, and goes down, down, down. Finally, it comes down to man, the pinnacle of God's creation. Why? Because we go right back to Krishna. We are the same as Krishna in quality, and one day we will almost have the same quantity. So quantitatively, we are different. The greatest doctrine you will ever learn in any theology is the great secret, which is 5 words. You are inconceivably God with difference. That's the greatest thing you will ever learn, ever. There's no greater thing to learn than that you are inconceivably, you cannot conceive it. Not in this form, not even in meditation, not even if you are the greatest guru in the world, but inconceivably you are God with difference. So I am you and you are me. I see me in you. I see me in everybody because we all have the same source.
And that's the secret, and that's where the CIA gets in with their, and the intelligence agencies with their divide and conquer tactics, with the religions, keeping them at each other's throats. So, but they all have a piece of the puzzle.
That's why
That light.
Emperor said, we're going back to the matriarch, right? That's the magnetism. Yeah. She's like showing you in a metaphorically way of what's taking place, right? We're going out of this realm into another realm.
Right. Male and female, the elves.
Right.
Elders.
And it takes that woman,
male, female,
magnetism to
create the spark. It's just even in
the quantum leap.
Yeah, even in recreation. Being co-creators, given when a woman gives birth and when a man and a woman get together, they have a child, right? That spark of light.
Right, and her, like Empress's wedding, that was a metaphor of the male and female joining, right?
Grounded.
Right.
So he used the words Krishna, Radha, Rani. Chris would be Christ. Same.
Yeah, it's the same story, just different
names, but
just
it's all the same.
names.
That's all. So when we're talking about electricity, we're talking about magnetism, negative and positive, electron, neutron, same thing, hot, cold. It's all expansion, contraction, breathing. You can put your hand on your chest, you can feel the motion, that same, your heartbeat. All right, so we went over that. Let's go here. So we have to free our minds from the matrix, which is what we're programmed to do, right? You see how some people are just going through the motions. Right. They call it just going through the motions, or you're robotic. We always have to prove if we're a robot or not online for some reason. I guess there's robots around online.
Yeah, they've had synthetics since, what are they? Like humanoid type people since like the 90s. So there's some that aren't or not.
What is this? Oh, this was This was in the 90s, huh?
They're
80s.
saying we're distracted by technology now, but look what we were
But
doing in
this
the
is
90s.
we were having to put. See, I remember
CDs.
that. I used to have like 50 of them.
Eating, drinking your coffee.
You'd have to take a CD out and take it just to hear a certain song, and you'd have to flip through it while you're driving or at a stop sign or a red light.
Yeah.
It's
That
kind of
was
like
more
checking your
dangerous.
phone.
That was more
But we didn't have
dangerous.
text messaging.
Right.
We were looking for CDs. They were probably in the 80s. They were looking for cassettes
Yeah.
up under the seat of the truck or stuck between the cushions. MapQuest. Oh shit!
When you had to read a map.
You had to
remember
print out the map.
Yeah.
Well, the old timers remember that. They pulled out an atlas. I know my grandpa has one. When still
I
carries it.
remember that with miss
Big
the
ass
exit
book.
because you're trying to look at the map, figure out where you're going.
And my grandpa doesn't he didn't let the phone talk to him. He just reads the map while he's driving. I'm like, dude, you only got one eye as it is. He's 80 something years old. So 80, 87. And he's still driving with one eye. MapQuest.
Run to get ready for bikini season. I run so that in the year 2030, when I'm locked out of my electric car for having a bad social credit score, I can get outside the 15-minute city limits and escape the United Nations robocops that are after me for having a steak after I've reached my CO2 limit.
Man, that sounds exciting. This is at my.tinfoil.hat.
Yeah.
Run to get ready for bikini season. I run so that in the year 2030, when I'm locked out of my electric car for having a bad social credit score, I can get outside the 15-minute city limits and escape the United Nations robocops that are after me for having a steak after I've reached my CO2 limit.
Look at her face.
She's all happy.
That's very optimistic.
Right.
Great attitude. way to put it out with a smile. It's kind of makes you think how crazy all this sounds, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, there might be some people that face that. Maybe we'll be sent to another realm during that time.
What is this?
Just between buddy. Don't let her get the best of me, buddy.
The friend who never replies in the group chat, their whereabouts are still unknown. They left and went.
Just between buddy. Don't let her get the best of me, buddy.
Out at the lake.
Yep.
On the canoe. That's symbolic. There we go. So I'm going to show this since we're on these topics. Hidden truths in plain sight. Land, air, water, law of the universe, the keys.
Didn't he die?
How to escape the matrix. You got to free your mind. That's what the message was in the Matrix, right? That's where the battlefield is. Between good and evil, it's good, the battle that we have inside.
Yes.
With what our body says to do, and then you have that battle with the spirit.
Yes.
And you have that struggle within. But free the mind. Don't let them control it and brainwash you into what they're trying to present to you. But this is how you free mind. Let's play this real quick. This is a little short interview.
What do I want people to know about me? Can I twist that question?
Sure.
This is what I want people to know. The whole point of the human race and the human mind in itself is evolution. Whether it's evolution spiritually, physically, period. Evolution. The purpose from birth is creation. That's all humans do. Everything around you was created. You were created. That table over there created, this chair created, this mic created, that camera created, that hat created. The whole point of the human race in itself is creation.
Co-creation.
Before now, when there was at least ideally the belief of two human beings on earth. Everything after that was a creation in itself. The whole point is evolution and creation. If you're not evolving, you're doing something wrong. So anything that takes away the power of your mind is keeping you still and delaying your evolution. The whole point of life is evolution. Study your laws of the universe. The law of attraction, the law of abundance, the law of equivalent exchange. Study your laws, the laws of cause and effect, the karmic cycle. Study your laws. Dwell into your mind, meditate. Understand that you can alter your realms by your train of thought. The minute you slow down your thought, you're able to leave your body through astral projection. You're only enslaved if you can't control your mind. So while you can and while you don't have the whole world against you, or you don't have a lot of worries, worry on freeing your mind from this realm. When you can free your mind from this realm, everything is but a thought. And if you can't free your mind, then you're a slave to this realm. The whole goal is you live and then you die. You can die plenty times while you're alive. The ideal physical death is completion. You served your purpose and then you went. There really is no rest for the wicked at all. I can't astral project, so I'm going to teach everybody else to do it to free their minds and their souls. Or I'm going to at least, if this is what you want to dwell in, which I don't want to dwell in.
All right. So we heard that message, right? But then we got, not long after that, it seems like these are the lives that get taken.
Yes.
And he's killed in a robbery, right?
Yep. Just like Tupac was trying to kill people, right? A lot of people were trying to kill him.
Everybody.
Yeah.
John Lennon.
Yeah. Because they know. And they're trying to tell us.
That's what happens, and that's why your politicians are the way they are, because
They can't.
they'll end up on
They
that.
can't leave.
They'll be up on that Clinton body count.
Yeah, the wicked can't leave this realm. They're stuck here. And they know it. They know it.
Developing right now, a search for a killer in South Florida after an up-and-coming rapper is shot dead. 20-year-old XXXTentacion killed in an apparent robbery. Police say the artist, whose real name is Jose Onfroy, was leaving a Broward County motorcycle shop yesterday when he was shot by two men who ran up to his car. He was rushed to a hospital but did not make it. Onfroy's death comes just weeks after he earned his first #1 album, which debuted March 31st.
So first #1 album, and the sacrifice was him.
Yes.
Right? Because they have to sacrifice somebody in their family to be #1. It's usually like Kanye, their mom or
That's because they have to
kid.
so they stay here in this realm. They can't ascend.
They're sacrificing it to Bel, right? So to speak.
They can't ascend into the next realm because
What do they call that? Ritualistic sacrifices.
Mhm.
And that's part of their secret, and that's why you're not getting the truth of hardcore shit via the mainstream media, because if they told you the truth, most of you would probably go insane. Some people wouldn't be able to even know return. So you have to look at the overall mental health of the country as a whole, and the truth to know is the person that's seeking it.
Right.
You can tell people anything, but until the person themselves seeks and finds,
Right. And
it doesn't mean nothing. That's why it depends the action of seeking and find. Then you'll find.
They worship like Bel, which is sacrifice, right? Sacrifice, and the gods of this realm that promise you. They worship the materialism, so they'd rather stay in the materialism world, the realm.
Right. So we went from, sitting here dropping something, right? Positive. something that you're not supposed to say publicly,
Right.
in order at that with that kind of platform.
Right.
Some things can't be said. No, maybe he astral traveled and didn't come back.
Well, yeah, could have.
But anyways, I've seen the. That's what happens. That this. All right, where we at? Like, it's it. We covered the drone dominance, the executive order.
Yeah.
We covered, and that's not to be joked about either. It's
No.
it's a constitution. It's a violation of the Constitution on its face. Surveillance, unwarranted, right?
Oh yeah, they've been doing that for a while.
Warrantless. It's just like warrantless searches. That's about the Fourth Amendment. But we're still already hooked up. What else we got?
Are you familiar with Libya's country's water program? At least when I guess Gaddafi was president. Since he's not there anymore, I think that program went to waste. But are you familiar with what they did there?
Yeah, so they did he had the eighth wonder of the world, which was the water that he was going to deliver to the entire continent of Africa and the Middle East. And he basically tapped into primary water because he learned about it and understood that there was water below the desert. So he pulled that water up and built the largest pipeline, I think, in the world, actually, for water, and was bringing that up. And he was using that water to give to his people so that they could have organic farms and they could have unlimited water to grow. And he created basically a organic oasis with using all that primary water that was just, it was indisposable. It was never going to run out. And he wanted to bring that to Africa and all the different countries in the Middle East. And it's interesting because when they first went into Libya, that was the first thing which was taken out.
Yeah. So the oil is worth more than water, even in Iran.
Yeah.
Did you know that? The water costs
yeah.
more than the oil. The gas is cheaper than a bottle of water.
So the untold truth of Gaddafi with Libya was he was going to provide all organic food for his people, free petroleum, free electricity, free healthcare and education, loans without interest, create his own currency, and provide unlimited water to his people. So that's what happens when you try to do anything good in this.
It seems those who go against the system are targeted, and then history is rewritten.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's it. You want to talk about the recall? No. Who's that from? Alec and Forever 731. Okay.
It's the guy, the Irish guy.
I heard.
Yeah.
Stop scrolling.
He's back.
Good question. If America is split between Democrats and Republicans, why do the same billionaire donor class, defense contractors, banks, data brokers, and lobby hives cash out no matter who wins? Because the red versus blue cage match is a TV special. The real show is Upstream, a cartel of elite oligarchs strip mining your labor, your data, your future, and sometimes your kids' health for yield. There are no Democrats. There are no Republicans. There's branding, there's merch, there's a business model that feeds human exhaustion. Politics was sold to you like breakfast cereal. Pick red box or blue box, and now argue forever about which one supports families. Meanwhile, both are owned by the same parent company that marks up the sugar and bills your doctor when your teeth fall out. Election season is just pro wrestling with C-SPAN lighting. It's scripted beef, swing state smack talk, dramatic betrayals, and then a backstage donor banquet where the elephant and the donkey split a lobbyist-funded cheesecake and compare Super PAC ROI. Different jerseys, same sponsors, same green room. See, people hear torture and think chains, dungeons, and villains with accents. The power got smarter. Modern torture is slow bleed admin. It's paperwork you can't finish, debt that compounds while you sleep, algorithm feeds tuned to spike cortisol every 6 minutes, tax codes engineered like escape rooms, medical billing labyrinths where one typo nukes coverage, gig grind that eats your knees while interest and taxes devour your entire paycheck. No scars, just a whole country showing up tired to a fight it never trained for. They run a 5-step hustle on loop. 1, divide you into emotional tribes. Flags, slogans, mascots, trigger words. 2, flood the zone with panic so you chase headlines instead of outcomes. 3, pass 1,000-page bills at 2:17 a.m. stuffed with corporate goodies labeled emergency. 4, blame the other color. And 5, monetize the outrage and fundraise off the wreckage. If this story were false, you wouldn't see bipartisan deficits every year, lobbyists writing legal boilerplate, or kids graduating into life owing more than their first car before they've held a full-time job. Yet here we are. Welcome to the oligarch carnival. No refund once you ride. Warland, where forever conflicts that somehow always need new gear, software patches, private contractors, and reconstruction grants that circle back to donors who back both parties. The Pharma Funhouse, where one pill has a 500% markup, marketing has a budget bigger than research and development, families are crowdfunding insulin in the richest country on earth. The data mines, where every scroll, pause, rage comment, and doom watch is clipped, tagged, and sold as voter manipulation fuel. The debt lagoon, where we have student loans, medical debt, credit cards, car notes, and mortgages, all bundled, sliced, and resold as products the way cattle became burgers. The surveillance arcade, cameras, phone dragnets, financial rails, inching toward full traceability. The cage doesn't slam shut, it just closes one digital notch at a time. See, culture war is their smoke machine. While we brawl over bathrooms, pronouns, flags in classrooms, who canceled who, and what a cartoon frog means, the asset class is busy locking up water rights, farmland, seed genetics, housing stock, telecom infra, and the identity layers that decide whether you're verified enough to transact. Control the access points, control the people. You don't need to ban anything once you can throttle permissions. Let's translate party language into English. Blue version. We care deeply. Because we care, we must urgently pass Program Compassion Thunderbolt, which, don't worry, subcontracts through 5 shell organizations tied to donors in districts you'll never visit. Red version. We defend freedom. To defend it, please waive oversight so Security Hydra Phase 7 can deploy. And yes, long-term maintenance will bill you forever. But when the cameras are off, it's, hey buddy, great segment. Your pack called mine. Golf Saturday? Now, not every rep is dirty. Some fight. But the structure is a casino. Edge rigged, air pumped in, no clocks, odds favor the house. Honest players burn out fast. Ask why people tune out. Because survival eats bandwidth. Rent is up, groceries are rabid, wages are limp, swipe your card, interest hits, repeat. Now stack kids, car trouble, medical co-pays, and a 3 a.m. email from work. Who's got the spare brain cells to decode 1,200 pages of appropriations cross-wired through 7 agencies and legal Latin? Exhaustion isn't a side effect, it's the operating system. A tired public is a harvestable public. So how do we punch back without lighting ourselves on fire? You starve the machine's 3 fuels. Your automatic money, harvested data, your divided attention. That's it. That's the spine. If you pull even one of those, watch how fast the mask slips. You don't have to disappear off grid unless that's your vibe. You just have to reroute daily habits toward people and systems that aren't built to skin you. Start local and human. Spend at farmers markets, co-ops, repair shops, community kitchens, places where your dollar does laps before leaving town. Use cash when you can, because every swipe is a data drip and a control switch. Experiment with community credit circles, time banks, mutual aid ledgers. Low tech still trades value. Teach outside of school. 15 minutes showing a kid compound interest on a napkin beats years of standardized test fog. Take media Sabbath days. No doom scroll, just neighbors, sky, dirt, and actual conversation. Film your city council. Post plain speech summaries. They raised water fees. 3 voted yes. Here are the names. Sunshine melts nonsense. Push for real-time campaign money dashboards. If they won't show who bought the ad time, why trust them to write the law? Use open source or encrypted tools when you can, so that one platform can't memory hole your entire life. And remember, humor is napalm for propaganda. When you laugh at a scam, fear loses altitude. Drop lines that stick. If the system loved you, GoFundMe wouldn't be America's backup health plan. Watch the comments flood with lived pain. Now you've got community. Try if voting alone fixed corruption, lobbyists would have replaced ballots with subscription tiers. Healthcare? Upgrade to Premium Citizen Plus. People laugh, then think, then share, then act. Comedy is the crowbar that pops locked minds. This is not about nihilism. Cynicism says nothing matters, so go numb. But clear sight says the game is rigged, so change the rules or leave the casino. You were not born Democrat or Republican. You were born human, spirit and skin, capable of planting food, writing new agreements, protecting each other. Everything else is costume rental from people who sell attention futures on your outrage. So next time that someone tries to bait you into a red versus blue fistfight, smile and hand them the real map. Brother, the line isn't left versus right. It's top versus everybody. You in? And if they join, you just lit the torch in the dark. If they scoff, plant the seed. Seeds crack concrete in silence while the highway above still thinks it's winning. We are done outsourcing morality to mascots. We are done confusing branding with representation. We are done watching men, women, and children turned into spreadsheet inputs while we argue over yard signs and hashtags. There are no Democrats. There are no Republicans. There is a cartel at the top and a world of exhausted, brilliant humans underneath. Waking up, linking arms, laughing loud, and building parallel systems that don't feed the beast. Order of the Flame Board. Light the damn torches and get to work. Humanity's house party starts when we unplug their soundboard.
Oh shit. That's just like on They Live, whenever you cut the signal.
Yes.
At the end, that was the only way to, because it was through the signal, they were capturing people's minds through the TV, right?
Right, and what was it
Radio.
that guy was saying? If
Propaganda.
you chew bubble gum, they can't read your mind. They can't read your mind because your mind's focusing on chewing. So chew bubble gum. That's why they put it in that scene that They Live, where he said, "I'm here to chew bubble gum and kick some ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum." Yeah, they were telling you.
Same thing with the glasses.
Right.
Sure. I think that is it. That's it. It's in our face now. But the reaction is to
Laugh at it.
And know that we are brilliant. Like he said in the video, we built this city. We built this city on. So we built this city.
Yeah.
All right. Keep in mind the third temple is the third eye.
Yes.
Not,
You're the temple.
Not yeah.
Build yourself up.
Yeah.
Right? Build yourself up. And like that guy said, the true law is the law of what?
What's his name? There were several laws.
The law of when he was talking about ascending.
He said, look into the different laws that govern everything, and he named off 5 or 6.
Right. That was a test for y'all.
Take notes. Right here, right? Since you brought it up. Listen to the How to Escape the Matrix. Free your mind. Free your mind and the rest will follow.
Yeah, just like that song.
There's a song that's called Free Your Mind. Or is that what the name of it is?
That's what Zen is.
Zen.
What do I want people to know about me? Can I twist that question?
Sure.
This is what I want people to know. The whole point of the human race and the human mind in itself is evolution. Whether it's evolution spiritually, physically, period. Evolution. The purpose from birth is creation. That's all humans do. Everything around you was created. You were created. That table over there created. This chair created. This mic created. That camera created. That hat created. The whole point of the human race in itself is creation. Before now, when there was at least ideally the belief of 2 human beings on Earth, everything after that was a creation in itself. The whole point is evolution and creation. If you're not evolving, you're doing something wrong. So anything that takes away the power of your mind is keeping you still and delaying your evolution. The whole point of life is evolution. Study your laws of the universe. The law of attraction, the law of abundance, the law of equivalent exchange. Study your laws, the laws of cause and effect, the karmic cycle. Study your laws. Dwell into your mind, meditate. Understand that you can alter your realms by your train of thought. The minute you slow down your thought, you're able to leave your body through astral projection. You're only enslaved if you can't control your mind. So while you can and while you don't have the whole world against you, or you don't have a lot of worries, worry on freeing your mind from this realm. When you can free your mind from this realm, everything is but a thought. And if you can't free your mind, then you're a slave to this realm. The whole goal is you live and then you die. You can die plenty times while you're alive. The ideal physical death is completion. You served your purpose and then you went. There really is no rest for the wicked at all. I can't astral project. So I'm going to teach everybody else to do it, to free their minds and their souls. Or I'm going to at least, if this is what you want to dwell in, which I don't want to dwell in, I'm going to teach you how to at least be happy or create while you're here.
Right. This is the video I showed earlier. I stopped sharing screen, but I just wanted to play that again without the video. co-creators. There we go. And that's what this is all about. I'm going to link that with this is
Heaven and hell are both states of mind. When a person is in a very doubtful and negative state of mind, he's always going to catch hell. But when the individual finds the heaven, the harmony, the God, the good, the love that is resident in his own being, then he begins to experience heaven. Be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. In other words, you change your conditions by changing your self-image. If you see yourself as a person who is in a vale of tears and under conditions and circumstances, that's the way you will be until you change your mind. Also, one of the techniques that I teach is called visualization. It teaches the person to see himself being, doing, and having the good which he desires. And the Bible says where there is no vision, the people perish. And it simply means that if you cannot see yourself in a better condition, you will die in the terrible condition that you're in.
Keep it right in your head. Keep your thoughts good, not bad. Keep your thoughts decent, not indecent. Keep your thoughts full of faith and not doubt, because it is in your thoughts that is determined whether you will be happy or unhappy, whether you'll be healthy or unhealthy. The happiest person is he who thinks the happiest, most interesting, finest thoughts. And that is a fact.
That's a fact, Jack. Right?
That's right. That's right.
So it's time to dance. Go. Any closing thoughts, Mr. Doug?
Well, just like he said, just absorb, but don't absorb. Don't get into your feelings with it.
They don't pick a team.
Right.
They're all the same.
You can this is disclosure also, so you can't ignore it.
When I see it,
we're not supposed to ignore it.
when I see it, I go, "Holy shit
Right.
show!"
But
it's everything's playing out,
right.
and it's supposed to be that way. It's almost like D-class in your face.
Right.
But it's been a captured operation for a long time. So, but the people are waking up to that fact slowly but surely. But it's on warp speed now.
Yes.
On the awakening. It's the now it's the great smacking.
Yes.
The great smacking, or slap a hoe.
Yeah, it's like some people get the ice water thrown in their face, woken up, and it's not pretty. But we've been over the years.
That's because they've been hitting the snooze button.
We knew most of all this, so it's not as hard. But we're humans, right? We'll have our good days and our bad days. I do. Sometimes you let it get to you, then I have to get myself out of that state of mind, right?
Yeah, because ain't nobody got
time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody
That's
got
right.
time for that, Miss Sheepdog.
That's right. But yeah, sometimes you have to just unplug for a minute, watch a movie. Like I watched the Titanic today, just to get out.
We watched the Titanic.
Yeah,
They were sinking for 45 minutes.
but I love that movie, so it made me. I just had to get away from everything for a minute, watch something else.
Yeah, the symbolism was pretty good when
'Cause
they're.
you can go outside, but it's so freaking hot. You can't stay out there too long. So, in the mornings it's not bad, but about 11 o'clock it starts heating up really, really, really.
Yeah, Miss Sheepdog's ancestors came from Antarctic.
Right. Right. So, yeah. Just try to stay positive. I know it's not always that easy. It's easier said than done, right? But if we can make jokes of it every now and then, bring some humor and things that make you feel better, take your mind off of it, and that's what we need to do.
Yep. Remember, you want to be the cat. What?
You see everything. You know what's going on.
And that's it. Oh, the new one. Oh, we got another new song to play tonight there from Miss Gwenda. Thank you very much for making these songs. It's very much appreciated.
Yes.
Now we just need to take the songs and add it to an AI video.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, you can do that. Sheepdog, that's your new.
I've been denying AI on all my devices, but I think it's still there because everything's that says AI overview, and I'm like, wait, when I got the phone, it didn't have AI on it. Now all of a sudden, a couple years later, it's got AI all in it. Yeah. But I keep denying it, but I know it's there. But yeah, I should try to see if I can do that on this computer here. That would be badass. Because it takes forever to make a
video.
It takes forever to make it like a video, yeah, with a bunch of screenshots
Yeah.
and picking the right ones. And
Yeah, it does. But you've done it before.
that's right,
Do
Miss.
it again.
So again, thank you all for being here. Check out the website, TheTrueSeekers88.com. TrueSeekers88pets.com.
Yes, and they'll be on tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll be happy to have them back on.
And that's it.
Good night,
See y'all
everyone.
tomorrow.
Love y'all.
85, 2025.
Seen 1,000 faces on my little screen. Stories that made me cry, laugh, and dream. Mama selling crafts, dancers on the porch, true seekers lighting up like a holy torch. From farm towns to neon lights, we're all just looking to shine so bright. Social media brought us near. Imagine if we shared out here. Real hugs, eye to eye, side by side. A beautiful world if our hearts collide. Bring love offline. Make it real.
Peace.